The McPherson tape is a found footage alien movie that stars the Van Hees family. Then why call it the McPherson tape? Well, apparently, a bootleg copy of the film got out there that was missing the credits. So people watched it and thought it was a real life alien encounter. And I guess someone just called them the McPhersons and it stuck. Either way, to this day, some people actually believe this is authentic evidence of an ET. Is the McPherson tape that convincing? Let's find out. So it opens up telling us about Project Blue Book and how the government funded an investigation into extraterrestrials. When the project was terminated, everything was released under the Freedom of Information Act and available for the public. The McPherson tape is supposed to be part of this evidence. Fun little fact, when I was a kid, I set out to read Project Blue Book in its entirety. However, after page 3, I got bored and went and played Pokemon instead. And that's a true story. Now we meet the Van Hees family. And immediately, it feels like we're watching some homemade VHS recording, which for found footage is a good thing. They don't really introduce themselves because everyone should know each other by now, but from what I can make out, the guy holding the camera is Michael. This guy's Eric, his daughter Michelle, and Jamie is the mother. Jason is Eric and Michael's brother, here's their mother, and then there's Renee, who I'm guessing is dating Jason. She's the only non-Van Hees. Anyway, they're all eating dinner, which seems to be rice and maybe some salad. Real filling. Everyone is making fun of Michael for his new camera, because remember, back in the late 80s, a home video recorder would have been a new thing. It's finally time for Michelle to blow out her birthday candles. That's the whole reason Mike is filming all this anyway. It's her 5th birthday, and everyone has gathered to celebrate. She blows them out, and when they try to turn the lights back on, nothing. The power's out. So the 3 brothers go outside to the shed to try to get it fixed. While out there, they see a bright red light fill up the sky. So the guys decide to go check it out. While walking toward the mysterious red light, the guys rag on Michael for never getting anything done around the house. He tells them about how their mom started drinking after their dad died, and then just in general giving Mike a hard time for recording all this. It's just filler to fill time as they walk through the woods. However, it does set the atmosphere. You can hear frogs and bugs in the background, the rustling of leaves as they walk. It's spooky. Then, eventually, they find a spaceship.
It's a spaceship, Mike.
Yeah, and after looking at it for a while, they see 3 little gray aliens walk around. One of them spots the brothers, and they take off back to the cabin.
They're looking at us.
They make it back and are freaking out. Rightfully so. They just saw an alien. But the rest of the family doesn't believe them, thinking it's all just a joke. The brothers yell back and forth as they decide what to do next. They arm themselves, and we see that same red light flash in the back window. The beings followed them there. But the family doesn't know this yet. They think maybe it's all over, and they can continue on with their night. The best thing to do is to distract everyone, so they eat cake and open presents. This goes on for a while, and I'll admit, it's pretty boring. As Eric and his family get ready to go home, they find a drawing Michelle did of what is clearly an alien. She says she saw it right outside her window. They look over there, and it's hard to see it, but sure enough, something is out there. Jason fires at it, but misses, and it climbs to the roof. Once again, they shoot at it, but this time, it was a hit. Now, the rest of the family can't say it was all a joke. Eric comes up with a plan to get them all out of there, which basically boils down to he'll run to the truck while Jason covers him, he'll get it started, and pick everyone up. Things don't go as planned, however, because Eric runs outside to find the body of the dead alien, and he brings it back into the house. His reasoning for this is that if the beings find the body, they'll know they killed it, so they better hide it from them. But, like, hide it in the shed or something, not in your house. But that doesn't change the plan. Eric still needs to get to his truck so they can escape. So he and Jason head outside one last time. After a while, there's still no sign of him, and the girls are starting to get worried. So they take a peek outside, and Jason's gun falls in. Jamie runs after her husband. She gets to the truck, but there's no sign of him. He didn't make it. They all run back to the cabin and hope for the best. Maybe the truck didn't start, so the guys decided to just run to the nearest house. But really, that doesn't make any sense. Why would Jason leave his gun at the cabin? No, those two are goners. Once again, everyone needs to keep themselves distracted, so they play a game of Go Fish. Then, suddenly, Renee gets up from the table in a trance and starts to open the front door. They snap her out of it, but she said she heard a voice that kept saying, "Open the door." But it was all in her head. Not long after that, the mother gets up and does the same thing. Michael manages to stop her, and he turns on a radio so they can't hear the alien voices inside their heads.
No, if we had the radio on, we can't hear them then.
Hey, I thought that's what tin foil was for. Michael wanders in to check on the dead alien, and guess what? It's missing. Worse yet, the back door is open. So either it got out, or it let the others in. After getting yelled at several times by his mom, Michael finally puts the camera down, but he leaves it recording. And slowly, we see 3 little aliens wander out to the unsuspecting family. And that was the McPherson tape. What'd you think? Personally, I liked it, but it could go either way. You gotta understand, this was early found footage, way before the Blair Witch Project. It was supposed to feel like a family home video of them celebrating a 5-year-old's birthday. That just so happened to be interrupted by aliens. There's a lot of boring bits, a lot of yelling back and forth, and obviously pretty bad special effects. This was a no-budget kind of movie, with the whole thing being made for $6,500, which probably all went into building the spaceship. The aliens looked like little kids in costumes, and that's because they were, but this movie still tricked people into thinking it was real footage. So, you gotta give them some credit for that. Despite its flaws, I enjoyed the McPherson tape, and I recommend watching it with someone. But just tell them that you found it on the dark web or something, and see if you can trick them into thinking it was real. I doubt it'll work, but hey, it might be fun. I give the McPherson tape 2.5 alien rubber masks out of 4. Okay, a quick story about how I got tricked into thinking some alien footage was real. Remember Rubber Johnny? It was an old video that I probably found on eBaum's World or something like that back in the days of dial-up. My internet was so slow that it would only load the first few seconds. So this is what I saw.
Now, how are you feeling? You feeling okay? You feel well?
Pretty freaking terrifying, right? I was convinced that this was some sort of alien that they had captured in Area 51. It was only when I went to a friend's house to show them, and they had fast internet, that I saw the whole video. And, well, yeah, it's not a real alien.